Ah yes, Sonic Boom. I still remember when this game was hyped up like it was going to be good back in February. After all, it had a new Western developer with, well, people who came from Naughty Dog, another well-known developer, and of course it had graphics that looked amazing for a Wii U game. It was using the CryEngine, and it also had new character designs which looked nothing like what had been seen in Sonic before. I mean, sure, let's be honest here. It looked a bit different, but when those were the only characters shown, the game looked like it could actually be good. Like Sega had finally realized outsourcing to a third party developer was what Sonic finally needed. Of course, long story short, the hype kept building and building. There was the gameplay footage, or little bits of it which actually looked better than what was shown later on. And of course, let's not forget the CryEngine demo reel that Crytek made, which featured Big Red Button as a developer and with graphics that looked far better than the current E3 beta you're seeing right now. Of course, a few months passed by with no major announcements, and what happened was a Sonic fan site found one of the released pictures quickly pulled because it had a Wii U dev kit get posted to a major Sonic fan site with the dev kit edited out to shield for any lawsuits or cease and desist orders Nintendo might bring. And what was there in a corner? A little frame rate counter with a low frame rate for a work in progress build. The frame rate, 15 frames per second. 15 frames per second. Of all the frame rates that they could have had, 15 frames per second. So anyways, what happened was, long story short, the developer posted on Sega forums saying that Sega would never ship a game like that and that it was just a work in progress build. So a few months passed by, and long story short, E3 2014 happened, and Sega was there showing Sonic Boom. The game was met with a major negative reaction from critics and even some Sonic fan channels. With many of them, I'm not talking about the ones that only post news for views, I'm talking about the ones who actually went to E3. They thought it was terrible. With even a channel that has mostly Nintendo only videos and several like this criticizing the game. For many reasons. From the poor art direction, to the terrible dialogue, to the graphics which ran at a poor frame rate, and the gameplay which felt really slow, the game was a bomb. Now, not long afterwards, one of these Nintendo-only fan sites claimed to have an improved version of Sonic Boom. While there wasn't much of a difference, I have seen people actually pass that video around trying to tell me how it's actually improved when many of the flaws from the original are still there. But either way, that's beside the point of this video. The point of this video is, just recently, more Sonic Boom screenshots got leaked. And wow, they look terrible. Now, I'm going to post a link to these pictures in the description, but all I have to say about these graphics is wow. First off, the Jaggies. As you can see on the piece of wood lying over the whole boat or whatever, because it looks like a boat to me, you'll notice that there are jaggy lines. You know the little stair-step lines you see when a picture's blown up? That is what you are seeing a lot of in this game, because the game looks to have no anti-aliasing whatsoever. And of course, let's not forget, the leaves. Those have an extremely low resolution leaf texture. And so does the floor, or the wood on the boat. Whatever that thing is, it has a low resolution wood texture. It really does. And of course, let's not forget the lighting. The lighting on these models looks terrible. It really does. Let's be honest. This is not what you'd see in a Wii U game. It doesn't. Let's be honest. Mario Kart 8, for all the jaggies it had, that had better lighting than this game does. Sonic's model, which isn't a bad model in and itself, suffers from both that and, of course, low resolution textures. And let's be honest, the frame rate for this has been terrible, and all the pictures you're seeing now, for the newly released ones that is, are in 720p. Look at Tails' body and face. The lighting is terrible. It really is. And of course, let's not forget the texture. For example, the floor texture, with the checkerboard, and of course the side texture with its extremely blurry grass or the background. Just look at this. Look how bland this looks. Again, look at the wood texture. And of course, look at the cheap fog effects. Keep in mind, this is a Wii U game. This is not a PlayStation 2 game. This is a Wii U game. Or the lighting on Tails' body. Because really, this is bland. And of course, let's look at all the fuzziness around Knuckles' model, or the terrible lighting in this game. Because really, the lighting in this game is an absolute joke. So all in all, Sonic Boom has been a major downgrade, and of course, let's not forget that, well, it just looks horrible. Really, it does. I mean, I'm not talking about the art direction of this game. I'm talking about the graphics. The art direction's pretty bad too, but look at these graphics. This is a 2014 game. And let's be honest, even though this is supposed to be a beta, we all know what happened to Titanfall. We all know what happened to Watch Dogs. We all know what happened to all those other games. Such as, Watch Dogs and this. Or the XCOM game. We all know what happened to that game. We all know what happened to BioShock Infinite. Let's be honest. Not everybody is going to fall for stuff like this and downgrades. Because let's be honest, a downgrade like this is just unacceptable. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.